Yeah, beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Stay positive, hope, and keep faith. Stand strong against any odds that you face. Put away the alcohol and the drugs. Fill your time with the things you love. Addiction is tough, but it's worth the work. Treat your body what it's worth. Spread positivity, inspire all. If we stand together, we will never fall. I help others see the other sides of life. A sober life, letting go of the strife. So give me a call, I can help. 1-844-4405-HELP. Homeless shelters, hospitals, jails, wherever you are. I am Ralf Friedrichs and I am here for you. 1-844-405-HELP.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. Let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You tried lifting your lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening it. You tried banging on the lid to hopefully unsettle the dirt, maybe get someone to start digging their way down towards you. This is what it feels like to be at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, there are people coming down or standing right near your grave, but you just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to fear to addiction, you have to have a great thought of not being able to fear death. With this, just pick up the phone and call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise I'll help you take your life back. Because if you don't, you're going to end up like this, where you went to your grave, you didn't seek help, and you will die. You'll die. Just pick up that phone and call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise I'll help you take your life back. I want to talk about alcohol poisoning death toll in Russia that rise to 49 people. This was about 2 weeks ago, folks. The death toll from alcohol poisoning in Siberian city has risen to at least 49 people after the victims consumed a bath lotion, prompting local officials to introduce a state emergency 2 Mondays ago. Putin, which is the president, urges restrictions on sales of surrogate alcohol, responding to the tragedy in Irkutsk. The Russian government also called for tighter regulations in the alcohol market. The sale of lotions and tinctures containing alcohol has been on the rise since recent years as Russia has plunged into recession under the impact of Western sanctions and a slide in oil prices. Poisonings caused by cheap surrogate alcohol are regular occurrences, but the Irkutsk case was unprecedented in its scale. While local officials in Irkutsk introduced a state of emergency in a desperate bid to prevent more deaths and went house to house in search for more victims, Russia's top investigative agency opened a probe into the incident and arrested several people suspected of involvement of the sales of those lotions. Irkutsk regional government said the victims had died of methanol poisoning after consuming the bath lotion. Officials said the bottles with the lotion were clearly marked with warnings that they were not for internal use. The death toll has been growing quickly since the weekend and reached 48, local prosecutor Stanislav Sugarsky said, according to the Russian news. He said that 9 others remain hospitalized in grave condition, and officials were checking apartments and other locations in search for more victims. President Vladimir Putin spokesman Dmitry Peskov described the mass poisoning as a terrible tragedy, adding that the president was being briefed about the situation constantly. Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev told a cabinet meeting that the authorities need to quickly ban some substances, saying their makers have been increasingly competing with legal alcohol producers. "It's an outrage. We need to put an end to this," he said in a televised remark. Alcohol consumption in Russia stays among the highest in the world. According to the WHO 2011 report, annual per capita consumption was about 15.7 liters, fourth highest in Europe. Another dangerous trait of Russian alcohol consumption pattern was high volumes of spirits compared to other consumed alcohol drinks. Russia currently implements a variety of anti-alcohol measures banning spirits and beer trade at night, raising taxes, and others. According to medicine officials, these policies result in considerable fall of alcohol consumption volumes to 13.5 liters by 2013, and wine and beer taking over spirits as main source of consumed alcohol, which I don't condone. It's still better news. These levels are more comparable with European Union averages. Alcohol producers claim falling legal drinks consumption is accompanied by growth of sales of illegally produced drinks. High volumes of alcohol consumption have serious negative effects on Russia's social fabric and the political, economic, and public health ramifications. Alcoholism has been a problem throughout the country's history because drinking is a persuasive, sociable, acceptable behavior in Russia's society. It's also been a major source of government revenue for centuries. It has repeatedly been targeted as a major national problem with mixed results, not being able to control the alcohol consumption. Now, I want you to keep in mind that Alaska came from Russia. In other words, we bought pennies on an acre from Alaska. Why can Russia not kind of implement the laws that Alaska has? And probably about 80% of the villages in Alaska, it's called a dry village, meaning no alcohol. Some of the village have a damp village, meaning you can bring alcohol in. And then, of course, then you have the wet villages, such as Anchorage, Fairbanks, Juneau, Bethel. I'm not even sure about Bethel, but Kotzebue. Those are wet ones. But why not even just make it where they are damp towns in Russia, meaning that responsible people can bring the alcohol into their towns. That's what I would recommend. And too many people dying. I mean, to lose 49 people to drinking bath lotion because it has alcohol in it. This goes back to the good old days when, do you remember Michael Dukakis when he ran for president? And his wife, Kitty Dukakis, drank rubbing alcohol. She was so involved in alcoholism that it took over her life, and she went to the medicine cabinet and drank rubbing alcohol. Alcohol will kill you. I promise you. Keep drinking excessively, and it will kill you. There's nothing wrong with drinking alcohol, but it should be controlled to 1 to 2 drinks a day for a man. Anything beyond that, you are an alcoholic. You are sure to sign your own death warrant, and you are sure to go to your grave unless you seek help immediately. Call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you, I promise and I will help you take your life back. 844-405-HELP.
and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. I have ready for you, will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need.